Whenever we get a bunch of WWE people getting released, the reason is always budget cuts. It's time to change it. It's time to get honest. You're fired. Reason? Cody's pyro. That's a lot of pyro, my man. That's a lot of pyro. That's a lot of money. Loads of unnecessary pyro. I sleep. We could save a few thousand by releasing a bunch of people. Real shit. I would be lying though if I said I don't like the entrance. But welcome back to another episode of Greatness of Raw, ladies and gentlemen. It's been a while. It's only been like 3 days since I recorded a video. It feels like months. Like, I can barely talk in English. And that always happens. Like, all the time. I take a few days break. And it's kind of weird. It's unnatural for me. You can probably tell. The main focus of the show was again Cody Rhodes versus Seth Rollins. Understandably so, this is by far the best rivalry we have in the WWE right now. So Seth Rollins introduces us to Cody Rhodes. Rhodes says, for those who don't know, Buffalo is Rhodes' country. During this promo, Cody interrupted Seth Rollins a bunch of times, playing with the crowd. Cody is still a new toy for the WWE universe. Man, I'm so afraid that once people will get tired of him, like in probably a couple of months, they'll boo him because he's not a heel. That's kind of a shame. He was about to say how much he respects his brother, his father, but now, since you disrespected me, I made you a star in one night at WrestleMania. Cody tells Rollins to get to the point. So the whole point of this promo was, Cody had an unfair advantage at WrestleMania because Seth Rollins didn't know who his opponent is. So tonight, Seth Rollins is going to do the exact same thing. In the main event of Raw, you're going to face a mystery opponent, and Cody says, absolutely yes, I accept. Man, I'm still thinking about that pyro. Every time Cody makes an entrance, it's 4th of July. I just imagine the WWE roster watching Cody's entrance on television, being like, look at the son of a bitch. Look at this guy. We were working for so hard, and this guy gets all the pyro. It's probably not the case, but could you blame them? And this promo was alright, you know, obviously I like mystery opponent surprises and all of that sorts of stuff in wrestling, but let's be honest, people, it was kinda obvious that it's going to be Kevin Owens, wasn't it? It was kinda obvious. Who else likes Rollins? Becky? Maybe? But like I've said, when you take this show as a whole, we did get a bunch of important moments. For example, during the WWE Women's Tag Team Titles match, Liv Morgan and Rhea Ripley versus the champions Naomi and Sasha Banks, which was actually a pretty decent match. I absolutely love all the tag team moves. Lately, the women's tag team division is absolutely thriving. You love to see it. So Sasha Banks and Naomi retained the championships, and obviously, like expected, something needed to happen. Rhea Ripley turned heel on Liv Morgan. I think she's a heel for the first time in her career. I could be wrong, maybe she was a heel in NXT, but she's definitely for the first time a heel on the main roster. And it's gonna be interesting because Rhea Ripley is someone you can build a brand around. She could be the face of women's division, but for the past year or two, she was just there as one of the girls. So it's gonna be interesting, and I can already see a great rivalry in the making between Bianca Belair and Rhea Ripley. I think that's gonna be special, and it's a SummerSlam worthy match. She could also become a vampire. I mean, she really fits in, right? They're just a bunch of angry emo kids who didn't get what they wanted. Mama told me she's about to buy me all the Robux, and she never did. So now, my bad boy, I'm gonna wear eyeliner. We thought Veer Mahan is never going to come, but once he did, there's no stopping him. He faced Jeff Brooks, my personal favorite superstar, and he absolutely destroyed the guy. He took the W. That wasn't enough. He decided to send him to the filthy word. He decided to send him to the medical facility. You know, I was never a big fan of these kind of matches. I know what's the point. We saw Ryback doing this, Omaz doing this, all of these big guys, you know, just squashing a bunch of people that we don't know, like jobbers, right? Enhancement talent. And it's like, it doesn't say anything to me. Who's the biggest jobber in the WWE right now? Well, let's say someone from 24/7 Championship division. Let's say Akira Tozawa. He could be squashing all of this local talent. That's not saying anything to me, like, at all. They're not a threat. Deville says she knew when Balor won the title at WrestleMania that Balor is who she wanted to face in the ring because Balor is B-E-S-T. Deville wants to win the title from the best and nothing less. Balor wants the match tonight, but Sonya Deville says next week on Raw in Knoxville, your hometown. After you lose the championship, you can cry to your family, but they're probably used to you losing the championship early. Balor was about to do the key OD, but Deville screams and threatens to fine, suspend, and strip Balor of the title unless she puts her down. So she puts her down, but the message is clear. She gonna whoop your ass. You know, I don't necessarily believe we're legit going to get that match next week. Obviously, it's for WrestleMania Backlash, right? So something is going to happen. She's going to abuse her power and say, well, I don't respect people of Knoxville, and I'm going to wrestle at WrestleMania Backlash, something along those lines. And you might be wondering what happened to Balor. I mean, she put her hands on a WWE official. She got fined $1 by Adam Pearce. The balls of this man, right? It's gigantic. Kevin Owens is tired of all the lies. He hired Chad Gable, and he wants to do a lie detector test on Ezekiel. I say Ezekiel because unlike Kevin Owens, I'm not crazy. Here's your proof. Who wants to hear Zeke speak? It's the same thing. It's Walk with Elias. So we saw Kevin Owens acting crazy, you know, paranoid. Why are you acting like you're a different person and why does everyone believe you? But once they started asking all the questions, he was telling the truth. He's Elias' younger brother. He is not Elias. His name is Ezekiel. Kevin Owens is shocked. Chad Gable is shocked, but he says, well, he's telling the truth. You will admit that you are Elias or else. Or else what? Chad Gable attacks Ezekiel from behind and we got the match. So first of all, I like this for whatever. I don't know why. It's really stupid. It's ridiculous. It's dumb. But I like it. I don't know why. It's funny. And I don't really know what's the whole point. Is he really the younger brother in kayfabe, of course, or it's Elias? It's his different persona and the lie detector got it wrong. I don't know. Nobody knows. And big props for Chad Gable. I mean, this guy, like I've said, he's really entertaining. Great in the ring. Tons of charisma. He really improved and hopefully, you know, he's going to do even bigger things in the future, you know, not just in a tag team. So we saw Chad Gable versus Ezekiel, which was pretty decent, but of course the match ended in DQ because Otis attacked Ezekiel. Then we saw the Raw Tag Team Champions RK Bro versus the Street Profits. So another big moment because the match was fine and all, you know. Obviously we saw this match quite a few times, so you probably didn't care that much, but we heard the Usos theme song, but we didn't see the Usos. And that's how the Street Profits won, because of a distraction. And then the Street Profits said, gee, I wonder who did that, you know, who played the music. You need to realize the Usos are not the only tag team you need to worry about. So yeah, it's official, the Street Profits are heels now, and I'm really happy with that. They really needed a change of character, and hopefully the theme song is going to change. You know, it's all fun and games, the cups and all that, but it kinda got stale. They've been doing the same stuff for 2 years probably now. So I'm ready for that change, and I think Montez Ford especially could be a great heel. This looks pretty cool. So they basically ranted about the fans, you know, how they gave credit to Bad Bunny but not to Damian Priest, and how they criticized Edge for being a part-timer and them being too much, and basically everything. But now they don't care about the fans anymore. Everyone who messes with them will see their judgment day. I'm still not too crazy about it, but it's growing on me, you know. Later on the show, we saw an AJ Styles interview. The lights started flickering, they went out, and yes, Damian Priest and Edge attacked AJ Styles. So they do have some supernatural powers, because Edge said, you probably forgot, I was in the Brood, I was in the Mystery of Darkness. So yeah, it's official. Edge is a crazy ass mother. He has superpowers. Then we saw the United States Championship match, Theory versus Finn Balor, which was pretty okay. Again, another rematch. That's the kind of stuff I'm so tired of. We saw an ATL for the pin, and Austin, or just Theory, won the championship. A bunch of heels came out to congratulate Theory, and then Mr. McMahon himself. They took a couple of selfies, And yeah, he's Vince's favorite boy. Also, fun fact, Theory is actually the youngest United States champion of all time. You know, I think it's awesome that once in a while WWE show that winning the mid-card championship can be still kind of a big deal. I mean, with Vince McMahon literally congratulating him for winning the mid-card championship, having such a big celebration on Raw because of a mid-card championship, I appreciate that. You know, it felt like a big moment, and it's kind of rare with the mid-card championships nowadays. Oh man, I don't want to talk about the wedding. Man, R-Truth was kind of funny at times. They switched partners again and again. They got married, I guess. And then we got a bunch of 24/7 championship changes, as if you didn't know that was about to happen. Like I've said, there's good comedy in wrestling, and then there's this. And in the main event, we saw Cody Rhodes versus Kevin Owens. More pyro! More pyro! Oh, we're gonna fire at 2 people. 5 people. So this is actually a match people in the audience saw last week. It was a dark match, so yeah, this was alright. You know, Kevin Owens being the mystery partner was really obvious, but one thing was established. Kevin Owens and Seth Rollins are all good again. So in the middle of the match, Seth Rollins came out to watch the match, but things got heated. Seth Rollins started yelling at Kevin Owens, and Owens had enough. He said, "This is your match, not mine." So he walked away. Cody wins the match by a countout, and then Seth Rollins pushes Cody off the top rope to the floor. I love this, but you know, I kinda wish we still had 2 championships. Imagine if Seth Rollins was the WWE champion and seeing Cody versus Rollins for the WWE championship. That would be so unpredictable. It would be so meaningful, you know. Now, it's still good. It's still a dream match. I appreciate that. But, I don't know. I keep talking about the same thing over and over again. But this unification thing is just, it's not gonna work. But yeah, that was a decent episode of Raw. Like I've said, a pretty eventful episode. Thank you for watching this video, The Great One. Peace, love, and hugs. It's been a pleasure.